Sports Betting Network, and it is always great to be joined by Tanner Kern. He does great work at DraftKings, and we broke down the NBA Finals in the last segment. Now let's head to the Diamond, and let's take a look at a little baseball, and we've got some interesting games, including, I know, the team that is near and dear to your heart, the Boston Red Sox, playing at home against the Tampa Bay Rays. Old Shane McClanahan is going to be going for the Rays, and Brian Bayo is on the bump for Boston. Total on this game is 9, shaded down to the under, with the Rays between about minus 155 to minus 165 on the money line. Where do you stand on this game? Because with the Rays, the bullpen has not been great for them. Big elixir, getting Shane McClanahan out there, and Brian Bayo, he's really been pitching well for the Boston Red Sox.
Yeah, neither team looked like they wanted to hit the ball today, so that's going to make me lean towards the under, especially with the pitching matchup on the mound. Mr. Shane McClanahan, 8-1 with a 2 ERA, 1.15 whip. This guy's in line to win the American League Cy Young Award. He's been fantastic. Great fastball, electric breaking ball, 69 innings, 53 hits allowed, and 82 strikeouts. Let that sink in for a second. He's fantastic, and he's going to go against a really good Boston Red Sox lineup, but the Red Sox have been very shaky. They put up crooked numbers a lot, but overall, they can struggle and they can get into these deep holes, and we saw that today with them. They did not want to play baseball, and that was an issue. When you go to Brian Bello, he's getting better and better and better every single start. 3-3 with a 3.89 ERA and a 1.47 whip. But you can't really look at those numbers again because he's just continued to get better. 39 innings on the bump, 44 hits allowed. He's got elite strikeout ability with 41 in 39 innings. Again, just keeps getting better. That's someone I want to bet on here. And the Rays, yes, they have a great offense. They can all hit the baseball. But today, they were getting shoved by Caleb Ort. And that is a sign that Bayo is going to be just fine against them tomorrow.
Caleb Ort, man, that guy is not very good in the bullpen. And the Red Sox bullpen in general is pitched above their skis a little bit, in my opinion. I think there's going to be some regression. But you get Bayo out there on the mound, that should be able to give them 5 to 6 relatively solid innings, and then you're able to go to your more trustworthy guys. And want to know what's trustworthy? Knowing that this guy is going to give up some runs on the road. Kyle Hendricks is going to be going for the Chicago Cubs against Blake Snell and the San Diego Padres. Padres are between minus 165 to minus 175 favorites, and I'm not sure what you made out of the Padres this year, because I do think that they were probably overrated coming into the year when it's all said and done, but this team is sitting below 200 with runners in scoring position. I have to think that there's going to be a little bit of positivity for them moving forward. And for the professor, Kyle Hendricks, just has always been a guy that I've had to handicap a little bit different home to road. Certainly pitching in Petco, not necessarily the worst pitcher's environment in the world, but I do like San Diego in this spot.
Yeah, so I would have 2 plays in this game. I would lean towards the Cubs at plus 1.5 for a little side play at minus 140 here. When I look at Blake Snell, he's gotten better and better, as you were saying, Greg, 2 segments ago. But overall, I just can't trust him. And I can't trust this Padres offense. They're only hitting 253, not 253. Their best hitter's hitting 253 for average right now in Juan Soto. With that being said, though, and I know this is it goes against, it might be a double negative here, but I do like them to go over their team total of 4 because they're facing Kyle Hendricks. And Kyle Hendricks is a guy, if the Padres can't hit, especially on the road, I don't know what to say, because Hendricks just simply leaves meatballs over the plate consistently. He's leaving sub 90-mile-an-hour fastballs right over the heart of the plate. And the Padres have guys in the lineup that can crush, even though they haven't been super consistent this season. Now, Hendricks is only 0-1. He's got a 3.86 ERA with a 1.82 whip. He's only thrown 9 innings, though. He's gotten very lucky. He's coming off a 1 earned run performance, but he's given up like 6 or 7 hits every 4 or 5 innings. Like, it's just not something that I want to bet on. So I do like the Padres to go over 4 on their team total. I think they're going to step up 67 home runs on the season. You have a lot of guys in the lineup that can deliver, like Fernando Tatis, Manny Machado, Xander Bogaerts, and Juan Soto. But that core 4 does need to start getting better and better. This could be a good spot for them to pick up some momentum.
I know this might not be one of your main plays, but in terms of the Oakland A's versus the Pittsburgh Pirates, we're getting plus money if we're taking a look at the Pittsburgh Pirates on the run line. Is there any reason to have any pause and just not fire it on this one? Because with the Oakland A's, I mean, just another pitiful performance for them. They go up 5-1 on Sunday. They completely blow it late. I mean, J.P. Sears has probably been their best pitcher thus far this season, but even with Sears on the mound, being able to get plus money on the run line for the Pittsburgh Pirates until further notice, I think is a very good deal with just fading this Oakland A's team.
Yeah, is Oviedo on the mound?
Yes, Johan Oviedo.
Oh, yeah, so Johan Oviedo, very similar to Sears. I guess Sears has much better whip, right? But when I look at these two guys, they kind of cancel each other out a little bit. And the Pirates are hot. Now, they played against an abomination of a franchise in the St. Louis Cardinals and found a way to get a sweep. But they have momentum coming into this game. They have a few power hitters that can step up big. And the Athletics, I mean, if you just bet against them on the run line consistently, you're making money. It doesn't matter who's at home, who's on the road, what the pitching matchup is. So, yes, it's always a good idea to bet against the Athletics on the run line. I mean, I'm not saying this is smart to do, but I'm almost confident doing it blindly just because of how much it has hit this season. If you're getting plus money for it, go for it.
Yeah, I mean, man, there are typically teams in Major League Baseball where you say they stink so bad, but those teams that we talk about typically stinking so bad win 55 games. It would be a miracle if the Oakland A's could get to 45 at this point. They've been that bad. As you've got a man that is the opposite of the Oakland A's. We've got someone that's very good in Tanner Kern joining me right here on the Greg Peterson Experience. He does great work at DraftKings. And I noticed that you gave a little bit of a shove there to the St. Louis Cardinals. So let's go into their Monday game. They're going to be facing off against the Texas Rangers and Martin Perez going on the mound for the Rangers. St. Louis is going to be trotting out their Adam Wainwright. And by the way, you came to the right show to give that shove because I'm someone from the state of Wisconsin. So I have no qualms about that whatsoever. But that said, with the St. Louis Cardinals, they're right around about a plus 110 to a plus 120 underdog, more around a minus 130 on the Texas Rangers. Where do you stand on this one? Because with the Rangers, I don't think they can keep up 28 runs in their last two games, but Adam Wainwright, he might be willing to let them continue that because he has been terrible this year.
Yeah, he's been terrible. Now, Martin Perez has not been good. I just want to make that clear.
Yes.
He's been very bad as well. He's 6-1 with a 4.43 ERA. I don't look at records for pitchers, especially like Martin Perez, just because of how good Texas's offense has been. He's got a 1.54 whip. He's given up 74 hits in 61 innings. Like, Martin Perez has not been that good. The Rangers' offense has bailed him out record-wise. But Adam Wainwright hasn't been good. 2-1 with a 6.15 ERA and a 1.71 whip. Like, if you have a 1.71 whip, it might be time for the career to come to an end, Waino. That's all I'm saying. 26 innings, 37 hits allowed. He only has 16 strikeouts. So he's really not bringing much to the table there. But who is bringing something to the table is the Rangers' offense in this spot. 77 home runs. The Cardinals do have 81. They've hit a little better when it comes to power, but runners in scoring position is an area that the Texas Rangers absolutely dominate. They've scored 376 runs this year compared to the Cardinals at 282. So just off that alone, just off the average alone, and the fact that they have a pitcher that they can hit against in Adam Wainwright, I do like the Rangers here for minus 130. This is an extremely fair price, and I think when we wake up tomorrow, we're going to see it closer to minus 140.
Tanner, as I always say, if your whip would be a relatively good number for a set of 10 on the bench press, that's when it's really not going well for you. And I wish I could do 170 pounds for 10 reps on the bench press myself, so not good, to say the least. And how about if we close it up with this one? It is the Blue Jays and the Houston Astros. Says, got a pair of guys whose ERA do not match up with their fielding independence. Brandon Belock is going to be going for the Astros. Alek Manoah is going to be on the bump for the Blue Jays. And for Belock, I do think that there's going to be some negative regression coming, but until Alek Manoah stops giving up more than 6 walks per 9 innings, he is, in my opinion, a very overvalued pitcher, and we've seen the summer come down to more around about a plus 110 or so with the Astros, but I still think there's a little bit of value here.
Yeah, the Blue Jays' recent wins, they have been getting hot lately, but they haven't really been doing it with offense. It's been by a few runs and some really good bullpen efforts. I just don't know if the bullpen's going to get a chance to be good in this game with Alek Manoah on the mound. 1-6 with a 5.46 ERA and a 1.77 whip. This is a guy that the Blue Jays were expected to count on this season, and all he has done is drop the ball. And I will say this, anytime I get the Houston Astros or the Los Angeles Dodgers or the Atlanta Braves for plus money odds on the money line, I almost have to take it because it's just something that doesn't happen much. Brandon Belock, I expect him to get hit a little bit, but he's 2-2 with a 3.19 ERA and a 1.45 whip. He's actually been better than Manoah this season. And when I look at this Astros offense, they've been very good as well. Have not been as good as the Blue Jays, but the thing about Houston is they find ways to win on a little bit more of a consistent basis. And the Astros haven't even started yet. So I'm going to ride with them. They're 17-10 on the road going against the Blue Jays here. I expect Manoah to get bombed, and I expect the Astros to get the job done.
Yep, I'm right there with you. I am on the Astros as well, and I'm always on to trying to get great guests on the show. And Tanner, you always fit the bill. You do tremendous work at DraftKings. Always appreciate your insights. Thank you so much.
Greg, thanks for having me. Really appreciate it.
Always great to get Tanner Kern aboard. He does it all. Football, basketball, baseball, you name it, he does it. So great to be able to get Tanner on the show tonight. And coming up in the final segment of the Greg Peterson Experience, give you my deep dive pick for this MLB Monday right here on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.